What was the feeling like, though, Jan, afterwards? Like, you're talking to Pep, you're talking to some of the players. Could you just sense that all the disappointment that's going on and the frustration at the moment?
There is an ambivalent thing that when I speak to the manager and the players, because you get the same feeling as they do on the pitch. They have no clue what's going on. They will just be winning games. They just be winning titles. And I don't think that this thing with Pep Guardiola is about him just saying it to protect his players. I asked him about that. Who is protecting you? Who is trusting you? And I said, it's to be a manager is to be lonely. But the situation they're in now, because we could fill a whole show to say what's going on the pitch. There are lack of legs, the lack of hunger. They can't defend. And yes, the Rodri thing is just one of those things. Is he a great player? Yes, of course. Every player will miss their best player, the most important player. But that is just one part of the whole situation at Manchester City at the moment.
What's going on with Haaland at the moment, then, in your eyes, Jan?
Say that again.
Erling Haaland. Talk to me about him right now.
Well, he's like everybody else. He doesn't get crosses. It's quite good for a striker to get crosses. We have to also admit that the recruiting of Manchester City the last couple of years with Savio or Duco, what's they all called, has not done what great for a striker. It's so frustrating not to get the crosses. But Erling Haaland is a part of the team. Erling Haaland is a part of a group of lads who don't produce at the moment. And when there's so many players, and you see Kevin De Bruyne out there, you live and die to have a player like him in the team. He's just running around there as anybody else. So Erling Haaland is a part of that as well.
Are you always back Haaland, Stevie? You always say, what's he supposed to do?
I'm not sure what people want from Erling Haaland. The way that the team behind him is playing, I'm not quite sure what people think he can do. You know, and I've heard some people talking about, well, he can't even hold the ball up. Well, guess what? Any balls that he's had recently have been around his throat. They've been fired at him so hard that... I just don't understand what Erling Haaland is supposed to do. Because if anybody in the team relies on service, it's the number 9. It's your centre forward. It's your goal scorer, and he's not getting any. So I just don't understand how people can point a finger at him whatsoever.
It sounds like you're all in agreement on this one, Frank.
Yeah. And I think there will be a question mark at the end of the season. If he realizes that he might be able to be served in a better way in another club, maybe he will decide to go away. Because, I mean, as Jan expressed before, the players that have been bought are not there to serve Haaland, but they are there to serve how Guardiola sees the football. That not making mistakes, not losing the ball, going around, and in fact avoiding Haaland. And you cannot avoid Haaland when you have Haaland as a number 9. Haaland has to be served in the air, behind the defense, 1-2s. You have to use him. I mean, the guy is a talent. We saw that, and we know that. But it's like they try to avoid him because he's not part of that game. That's absolutely crazy.
All right, well, City's next game is against Aston Villa. It's the early game on Saturday. We take a look at where these two sides are in the table. Manchester City are in 5th as it stands right now with 27 points. Villa in 7th. They are 2 points behind them with 25 points as it stands right now. Same amount of games played, 16. Here are the predictions from the panel. Myself and Jan going for a 2-1 win for Manchester City. Stevie says it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Frank Leboeuf has got Aston Villa continuing to pile the misery on Manchester City. Why is that, Frank?
Well, because we have to stop believing that Manchester City will be back at some point. You know, we just put the reference that they lost 11 games. That's so. They won. The only game that they won, it was a 3-0 against I forgot, like 4 days ago. But otherwise, they lost every game they played. Yeah, Forest. Thank you. So. You know, we always want to think that against Manchester United, it's a derby, they play at home, they're going to win, and they make silly mistakes. We all know they're going to make mistakes. And I'm sorry, you have to pay respect to Aston Villa as well. I mean, we know the talent at front. We know that in the middle of the park, they're very strong. So why Aston Villa couldn't win against a wounded Manchester City? That's only natural to say that Aston Villa at home should win against Manchester City. If we don't live in the past, if I live in the present time, I'm sorry, Aston Villa is better than Manchester City.
Yeah, Jan, I can't believe you. Where's the respect?
I have no respect, but first of all, Aston Villa should be lucky that there is Manchester City, because they haven't had the greatest spell themselves either. But I got a feeling, I must admit, Frank, I have a feeling when I was tipping for Manchester City, I was like, if you're on the blackjack table and there's red, and then you just feel they're gonna be black soon.
Yes,
but so it's just that feeling. But you still
yeah, but
you
when?
still
We
know
don't know when.
No, exactly. It's still 50-50.